Okay, all right, Tim. So thank you once again for joining today's sessions. So as I mentioned yesterday, basically we have learned some of the basic about Git. So what we will do today, we have gone through yesterday some of the comments as well. So you can just have a look once the notes and everything. You can also just follow these like comments and all that. Okay. So what we will try to do is that yesterday we were doing some of the comments there. So today we will we will take a new repository. Like we will try to focus these three things. That is merge, rebase, and cherry pick, and then tags. These three are very much important, specifically if you're working in actually Git or Azure or any services you work. So first of all, what we will do is that I will try. We have used yesterday the old repository. So today we are going to use this repository. Okay, so that we will understand exactly what happens in the background, right? So this is one of the repository. This is basically the ASP.NET based applications. So we will be cloning this one. So we know how to clone it. So before that, I will delete yesterday's folder. This was the one which we don't need it. I will delete this first. I mean, folder, no, I don't have to delete it. I can just delete the piece of code, whatever I have it. Okay. So as I mentioned, this is right now same folder we are using. It is an empty one. And if I open the BS core, we will again, like yesterday, we will go to the files and then we are going to select the open folder. Same folder we are going to select because it is the empty folder right now. I'll just delete everything. Anyway, it is no more. Okay, so as I mentioned, we don't have anything. I can delete this all. I mean, I can remove this also. Okay, so right now we don't have anything here. As you can see, first thing, yesterday we have learned how to clone also. So first thing, that is what we are going to do now from scratch. So we don't have to do setup and all. Setup is done already, but we'll come here first, right? We will select this URL, or I can copy from here. Then next, we have basically selected our folder where we want to work. We want to work within this repo, that sorry, folder, that is the DevOps folder. Click here, terminal. There is a new terminals. Click over there. Then this will be open up for you. Right now we don't have anything right now, right? So I'm going to basically clone it. So what's the command I need to use? I can just use a git clone, and then whatever the repository name you want. In my case, this is the one. So I will clone it. So now, right now, whatever I have the core basically in my GitHub, this will be basically same copy will be downloaded in your local systems. So if you can see here under this folder, I could see this one web app ASP.NET code, right? This is the repository which was cloned just now. Now, if I check ls, I will see something like this, because as I told you, we have only this one. So in order to work with any repository, we are right now, if you see, we are within DevOps folder. We need to go inside our repository. So we are going to go right now using cd command, change directory, then web app, we can type, you can use the auto type. If you type the first two or one letter or three letter, whatever letter, it will take you to the specific directory. So I've been inside now. I'm gone inside now. So if I type ls now, these all things I could see here right now. Same thing what you see is, if you want to compare it, I mean check in your this thing also, you could see something here like this, right? These are things it is available. If you go inside also, we have this kind of manifest file and everything. So you don't worry about the core. I'm just giving an idea so that what happens. Okay. Now, as I told you, we are here now. If you see here, there is something called again. We need to go inside, because uh, if you just notice inside here, we have let me come back. Yeah, inside here we have one more web app, this thing like .NET Core. So I will go inside. So where is basically in whichever location you want to work, you have to go there. In my case, I will go inside because I want to go inside this thing. Right now, I will see everything, whatever I have a manifest, space, properties, and everything, Docker file, everything is available same in our here also. If you just see here, if you go inside, we have a manifest, page, properties, everything is available. I hope this is clear, team. Now, next what we are going to do is that this is where we are going to understand now. We are going to understand three things today, 3 to 4 things. We'll see depends on the time. Yeah, the first thing is the rebase. Before that, we will a little bit of we'll go yesterday's topic. We have learned yesterday, like what all we have done yesterday. We have learned like yesterday we have learned what is they call Git branch we did it, right? So we Git branch we did yesterday, and then there are other things also we have done, how to work with the branch and configure everything. So configuration is not required now because we do have, but yes, if you want to check, you can still check. What is the command to check? To configuration, basically whose name is configure, we can use git config is nothing but configurations dash, I can use a double dash list. So as I mentioned yesterday, it was given by let me maybe make a little bigger size. If you see here, Vivek. Now I will just skip this one using the Q button. Uh, okay, using the Q button, I went. Now if I click here, I'm back, right? So let me first change the name because I don't want this name to be visible. So what I can do is I can simply type again git config, just like yesterday we did, right? Double dash global. Global is nothing but I'm global, I'm configure. Then dash, what is the username? I can simply use that dot name. I just want to change the name, not the email ID. Then I can simply type, sorry, double listen, what you call Hriyen. I can type. Now once I type, now again I can use the upper button, I mean arrow keys. Now you can see same thing again. Now the name is changed now. So remains the email ID remains same. So we are good now here. I don't have to do any changes right now. So second thing is that we are good with the configurations. I'm going to exit using the Q button. That is quit. Okay. Now next thing is that I'm right now. If you see, um, I will have here. But if I type here git branch or br, it's nothing but it is again branch. I'm in the main branch. Again same thing. If you go here, um, here, right, we are in the main branch, but apart from main, what all we have, we also have, if you click view all branches, if you click over here, you will see the number of branches listed in your remote as well. Okay, right now as I told you, we have two branches, main and dev branch. Now let me, that is what right now I'm in the main branch. Now if I have to check, let's basically the this branch basically only shown locally in the sense, this particular branch what we see is only available locally here, main branch. By default, main branch basically, you need to understand main branch is something that will come by default from your remote repository by default. Okay, you don't have to do any configurations because that is the default this thing. If you want, you can check here. Okay, this is default. That means you don't have to do anything there. Automatically, as you create pull, I mean maybe pull, what I say, when you clone, automatically this branch will be listed in your locally. That is why I could see here. But now I have one more branch, that is your dev branch. Let me create one new branch so that I will try to make you understand better so that it will be easy for you. I'm creating manually this one from your portal basically in your GitHub. The reason why I want to do is that I will tell you that also. Let's say this is given as a staging. The branch name is staging. This also again based in like this thing. Original branch is from main. So that means whatever I have a core in the main branch, same will be replicated or maybe same data will be available in your staging branch as well. So I will create. That means source branch would be main. Whatever main I have data, same thing will be replicated in this particular staging branch. Now, if you remember yesterday, I have right now 3 branches, right? If you remember yesterday, um, basically I want to list all the brands. So what I said, I can use the git brands, then I can put a also, right? I could still only see their brands, right? I cannot see there are two different brands, like one is a dev and the staging. These are not available. The reason why it is not available is because these all are is actually stored in this thing. It is not synced locally, because as I told you, only the default branch, that is the main branch, will be replicated in your local branch. But what if you want to make this also available, or maybe what if you want this to be, you want to see basically, like let's say instead of having only one branch, I want to see staging that branch also from my local system. How can I check that one? If I use again double dash a, still you will not be able to see that one. Okay, now let us see then how can we see the remote also, like which was created recently. As I told you, this will have to, there are two commands yesterday I told you. One is I remember I explained yesterday there are two commands. One is a git pull versus git fetch, right? I was in fact telling yesterday. So we will try to understand today actual what happened these two. So when I use a git pull, what happened basically, whatever changes is there in your remote branch, in the sense, let's say remote branch, in my case I have a remote branch called as main. Let's say this is a main branch, let's say remotely, and now I have here, that is the git pull, I am using it. What happened now, whatever in main branch, that means in the remote location, that means in your GitHub, right? Whatever I have in this branch in your GitHub, all the code will be basically stored or maybe copied locally in your local branch also. Local branch in the sense local system within the same branch, whichever branch you're working on. In my case, it is a main branch. So it is basically you are going to downloading and storing in your respective branch, that is your main branch in your local system. Now the question is, okay, let me do again this one. Then what happens if I do git pull? I can use a git pull, and I can use the origin also if you want. Origin, sorry, spelling's wrong. Origin is why? Because as I told yesterday, origin is nothing but it is your remote, in the sense your GitHub. Now I will type main is because I have branch called main. So I'm saying now, please pull the changes whatever is done in the main branch. Origin mean it is a remote, in a remote which branch? Main branch. Now if I dive here, let's see. Now it is saying now already up to date, that means I do not have any changes. But as I told you, we have not done any changes here. So whatever changes was happened, we have cloned it just now, right? So there is no any changes. Okay. Now that's the thing. Now that means no changes. Now what about if I have still, again I did a pull request, right? If I use a pull, it has to be basically what I did. I told in fact, whatever changes happen remotely, that has to be downloaded and stored in your local system also. Again, if I use a git branch, as I told you, branch also be created just now. It has to be normally, technically, it has to be uh, showing here, right? Not showing here. If I use again git again a also, it will not show. It will not show the branch. Why? The reason why it is not showing, because normally, that is why we need to understand, git pull is used only where there is any changes in your remote this thing repository, not on the branch level. Remember, okay, branch level in the sense, say for example, right now I created new branch, that is a staging area. Sorry, staging branch. This was, I just created a branch. I did not do any changes in the code level, right? This is why it is not showing. And now what if I want to bring this also, or maybe I want to see this also locally? So let us see that also. So this is where we can use this command using git fetch. Git fetch basically, there are two way of, basically you need to understand the situations. As I told you, git pull basically is going to download all the changes that you make in your remote. That means whatever you have done here in your GitHub, everything is going to be downloaded and stored within your same branch, that is your main branch in your local system as well. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is your git fetch. Git fetch opposite way. Only when you want to just see the changes, whatever you made. Say for example, same thing in the same branch. let's say main branch, you did some changes, but I do not want that to be reflected or that to be changed basically or updated in locally. Locally mean here. I don't want that to download. So that case, I can simply see the changes. Then I can use a git fetch. But one more thing I can use a git fetch is used to basically check the branch. I mean to see the branch. Let me see that now. So now, as I told you, we have only this many branch remote. Let us see now. If I had to see, I can simply use a git fetch doubled as uh, all or single a also you can give. Always remember these are two alias name. One is the a dash a is nothing but it is all. Otherwise double dash all. This also both are same commands. Okay, so whichever you prefer you can use it. So in my case I will go with this one. What did you see now? What I say now, if I click here git fetch all, because all, why? Because whatever changes happen remote, it does not matter which branch you are working in. Any changes that you make in your branch level or create a new branch, everything is going to be downloaded. I mean, fetch here. Now, if you see here, as I type here git fetch, you will see the new branch with the hashtag. That means this is a new branch called as staging. That is there where origin is nothing but it is a remote. And what is the name of the branch? This is the name of the branch. That means right now we can see the existing which was created just now in your GitHub. Okay, so that is the thing. Now if you say again now can you see the changes now? The staging area, I mean staging branch which was created just now, I have basically I brought that also into my local systems using the these commands git fetch and the dash double dash all or single a, I mean dash single a dash then a. Okay, so that is how we can see right now we are seeing right now. Yeah, I hope you are clear now how to bring see the changes, right? Okay, now let us go to the point now. So I hope this is clear, these two comments, when to use what. Okay, basically if you want to work with the branches or maybe you just want to see the changes, you can simply use the git fetch. But if you want to bring and merge with your main branch, specifically if you're working with any core or anything, then you must use the git pull. Git pull basically it is going to be download and store within your git local branch basically. Okay, this is only just to show you. Now fine, we are good. Now let us go to the point, that is Mars with versus the rebase and then what you call cherry pick, right? So basically if you had to understand what is the difference between what you call cherry pick and rebase and this thing, we will try to understand now. First thing, let us understand the first one, that is a Mars, right? Mars is nothing but basically say for example I have two branches here. Let's say you have a I'm saying this okay, let's say I will give you I have a branch called main branch. Okay, another one I have feature branch. Now let's say I will do some changes definitely whenever, as I told you yesterday also, whatever changes that you are going to make, usually you will not be doing on your main branch. Always you will create a feature branch. Okay, once you create the feature branch, whatever changes you're going to see, it has to be reflected here. I mean, whatever basically changes you say, for example, you use main, you will do changes here. Once you're everything okay, you will merge with the main branch. Okay, but question is why we have to use this? There are other command Rebase and cherry pick also. Let me show you first the merge commands. Let me create the branch called features first. I'm right now. Let me check which branch I'm sitting right now. I can check many ways. I can use a Git status. Also, I can check. Otherwise, Git branch I can use. If I see I'm in here. Otherwise, I can simply use a Git branch or Git BR is nothing but it's a branch. Right now, I'm in the main. Now, let me create a new branch called First I will create. Can somebody tell me how to create a branch? It is a Git checkout. I want to create and switch at the same time. So I will use a Git checkout dash B. B is nothing but it is a branch. And I will mention the branch name. In my case, it is a features. So meaning sitting in my main branch, I'm going to create new branch called as feature. Now, as soon as I create at the same time, it will also be switched to my this particular branch. Let me check. As you can see here, as I type here, automatically it switches and also to a new branch called feature. Right now, if I type again git branch or br, again I could see, as I told you yesterday also, that anytime you see with the green color highlighted with the asterisk, that means you are there itself in the particular branch you're working on. Fine. Hope this is clear. Now, let me, as I told you, I'm sitting here right now. Let me do some changes in my code now. Okay, I will go inside. And if somewhere I will maybe anything I can do. Maybe I want to add something, I can add it. I will create under manifest or under this repository. Let me create one folder. As I told you, this is where you can create file folder. I'll create a file called as what should I say? It is a maybe feature. Okay. Under feature, I just type something. This is from feature branch. So, meaning that changes whatever we are doing from the feature branch. Okay, I will save this one. So as soon as I save this thing, now if I type git status, as I told you yesterday also, I told you if it is something U is nothing but untrack, I will check the status. I could see this is right now, because this particular right now it is in your working directory. Okay, it is in a working directory or work3 you can call. Okay, so better you can use a working directory term. So that means I'm here right now. So in this case, what I do now is, let me do a basically commit. What is a git add? Basically what I'm going to do, whatever changes I have in my this particular folder, I want to stage that one using the git add commands. So right now you will see in the green color if I use a git status, because right now this particular file store in your staging area. I hope this is clear. Next, we will go with the git commit. Git commit, why I want? Yesterday, as I told you, whenever you are using git commit, it's nothing but whatever you have file in your staging area, those will be taken as a snapshot. Okay, that means this particular file will be taken as a snapshot and it will be pushed to your local repository. It will take the snapshot and it is going to push in your local repository, not the remote, local. I'm saying it. In my case, I will type something updated. What is it? Something called feature file, something like that. Any name, it should be meaningful, but whatever you're doing, okay, feature file, something like that you can give. Now this changes is done. As soon as you type the commit, as I told you, every single commit there will be a one commit ID is created, and as I told you yesterday, there are 7 numbers. So if you count also, you can see the 7 numbers over here. Okay, and you can see the number of files been changed. Okay, now we are good here, but till now this changes is basically stored only in your local one. Now same thing, I want to, the changes whatever I make, I want to bring it to my different brands. Meaning I want to bring to the different what is it called, another brands. So how I can do that one? I have to go to the particular brands. Let's say I want to go to the main brand. I will simply go git checkout. Remember right now it is only stored in my feature brands. Okay, in that I under what is a, where is there feature brands I created right here under same what is a web app. I created this feature brands. Now git checkout, I can type the branch name as a main. Now, as I type git what I say status also, or maybe git branch, I can see right now I am sitting in my main branch. Okay, I'm sitting in my main branch. Now, whatever changes I made in my feature branch, I want to bring it to my main branch. Normally, I'm saying normally you should not be doing that case, but I'm just showing you that is possible to do it. So if I had to do it, git rebase, what is a branch name? Um, Feature, right? If you see here right now, as I told you, this is gone. It is coming red color because I have switched the branch where we are right now in the main branch. This particular file, feature file, basically this thing, it is not available in my main branch. This is why it is showing like this. So if I type here, now we see what is showing now. As you can see here now, successfully rebase and updated this particular thing under heads of the main. What it means basically, it means now whatever changes I made, I did not do changes in my main branch. Okay, if you notice, I have done changes only in the feature branch and I committed locally. I did not push also. I committed, and then same I want to replicate same the changes that I want to replicate whatever I have made changes this particular branch, right, feature branch. Same thing I want to replicate in my main branch with the help of Rebase. So what basically I did was, first I committed a particular my feature branch. Next, what I did was I switched back. Basically, I switched to my main branch. In the sense, I check out to my branch, that is my main branch, in which I want to bring the changes. Now, that means I'm in the main branch now. As soon as I type in the main branch also, I use a git commands to check it whether I'm in the main branch or not. So you could see with a asterisk mark with a green color, right? That means I'm sitting in the main branch. Then sitting in the main branch, then only I can use the git rebase and which changes you want to bring it from which branch. So as I told you, I have made changes in my feature branch. This is why I run this command, that is git rebase and the name of the feature branch. Okay, then successfully it is showing me that you have been successfully rebased it and updated. Now, if I see here, you can also see there is, if you just, there is a button to basically, I think here, under here, not here, we have this feature branch, right? See, this is got updated, but I'm sitting in the main branch. You can see here also, I'm in the main branch, but this is coming from the feature branch. How is it possible? This is possible because of the rebase concept here. But normally in technically, if I say, do we really use this one? Yes, we do use. But question is when to use this one, right? So we'll try to understand that first. So I hope you are clear now. I did not, now let me commit this one. I can simply git push, I can do. Now, one thing we need to remember here is, let me show you rebase. Yeah. Okay. So if you see here, now there is another commit got created. Old commit, new commit. Old commit means this particular commit. Let me show you. Checkout time. Okay. If you see here, 36, right? 36 means basically if when you commit your feature branch, right? 36 number, 036 number. This is a 036. This means this particular is your old commit which was committed in your feature branch. During the feature branch, if you remember, that time we can run, we get this ID, right? This is the commit ID. And this particular ID basically is used for the another commit when we actually do, we are pushing right now to the remote repository. So if I see the changes now, I can just show you. Okay, I can see the main branch. Okay, see under main branch, I can see updated feature branch. If you can go inside, or you can go on, if you know the part, you can go. directly also. As I told you, it will be under this feature, right? See, you can see. But as I told you, right now we are sitting in the main branch. Similarly, way if you're going to your the branch, this is not there anyway. We can't see that. Okay, so that is the beauty of that one. Then question is, okay, why when to use this one? Okay, basically when to use means, let's say this particular commit, that means feature branch. If you have right now only I have only committed one time, right? Let's say if you have a 10 time you have committed in the same branch. Let's say you have lot of modifications, you have done it. Now you what you want is you want that to be what is say what is say committed, that one, in the sense with the what is say the it is going to rewrite your existing commit, meaning if that means as I told you, if every single commit there is a commit id, right? Let's say if I have done 10 times, you have done some modifications, and if you had to commit in the same branch 10 times, what happens, 10 time commit id is going to be created. That means it will be very difficult for you to basically see why it is you, I mean what is it, to understand, right? Because 10 times means you will not be able to understand which is the correct one, which is not, or maybe you have to refer each and every single commit id. That is difficult. So what do you want, that instead of this one, what I want is I want to rewrite the existing commit. That means whatever commit ID I have it, or maybe whatever I have the commit history name, I want to rewrite with my existing name. Mean existing mean new name basically. Okay. That means instead of 10 commits, it will only have one commit ID. I hope this is clear. Question is why, when it will be helpful, and when to use this rebase. This rebase can be used if you're working with a team. Let's say you are working with a different team. Let's say you have a development team, you have a security, you have a IT, then you have a DevOps team. Now, for example, if you do a rebase, as I told you, rebase what happens? It is going to override all your existing commit ID, right? Or commit history. That means you will only have one individual commit ID. Say for example, if you have a multiple team, it will be very difficult for them to understand which is for what, right? In this case, we should not use this rebase command, because this will be very big confusing for people to work as a team, because there will be only one commit. Then how they will identify which commit is used for which team, right? This is the reason we should not use the rebase. The question is then when do we use this rebase command? Rebase, git rebase we can use, let's say you are working individually in your branch. Let's say I'm working in my feature branch now. I'm the only person who's working in this particular feature branch. Now let's say I have done 10 time modifications, because I'm working with some bug fixing and everything. So as you fix issue or maybe work on the particular branch, definitely you will have a one or the other issue, right? So you keep fixing your issue again and again, again and again, again and again. What happens, the more you fix the issue, the more you do commit, then more the number of the commit IDs get increased. Then in order to make that all into one commit ID, or maybe into a simple like a one commit, then you can use the using the rebase. That means instead of having 100 commit id, you can only have one new commit history, so that it is easy for you to understand also and easy to read also. Otherwise it will be messy, right? I hope this is clear, right? Now next we will understand the concept called rebase. Sorry, I think I was talking about the what did I was telling? I think rebase I was 1 minute. Okay, sorry, my bad. I was not Mars. Rebase I was doing it. Okay, rebase. I hope you understood. I installed this thing. This is a rebase one. So I hope rebase is clear, right? This is the thing. That means rebase basically it is going to override your existing commit ID, right? Let's say if you have a 10 times a commit ID, let's say 10 commit history, this can also be combined into one. Combine can be combined, or maybe commit with the one commit, basically combine into one commit history, whatever I can call him, ID or history. Okay, this is the thing. I hope this is clear. Rebase basically this thing. Rebase basically, instead of defining the multiple commit ID, we can simply have only one commit ID or one commit history, so that it will be easy for you to work. When to use this thing? If you're working with, when you work individually, when you work individually. Okay, when you work individually, you can use this one, these commands. And second is Mars. Now I have in fact highlighted this one, but anyway, I was discussing this one later. Anyway, then what about the Mars? Mars is a very opposite way, meaning, as I told you here, same thing, whatever we did, it will be as it is. But then only one difference what you will need to understand is that, let's say in your feature branch now, let's say this is a feature branch, right? Let's say you created feature branch. Now you have done 10 commits. Say example, 10 times you committed in the same feature branch now. Now, same thing I want to merge with my main branch. That means here, what problem is, whatever the number of commits you did, let's say 10 times means all 10 commits ID or the history will be merged with your main branch. I hope this is clear. But here means, instead of defining all the 10 commit ID, history or whatever I can call, it will be only having one
I have a question,
unit.
Hriyen.
Yep, yep.
As you said, the thing which you are using now, the command,
Okay,
it only makes the commit ID, which is 7 digit, into as you given an example now, there are 10 commits, means 10
okay.
ID numbers. When we
Yes,
use that
yes,
command, the 10 ID numbers become one ID number and get
yes.
merged with the main branch. We are
You're
using
right.
it
Yes,
just to, simplify a number. That's it,
you're
right?
right. Yes, yes, yes. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So I will just reframe once again. If I talk about the rebase, let's say in the particular branch, let's say you're working in the feature branch, right? In the feature branch, let's say you have done, wrote, let's say you're working individually. Okay. You have done so many issue, you have fixed the issue, because every single commit, there is a commit ID, right? So let's say 10 times you have committed. That means 10 times there will be a commit ID will be generated, right? A hash ID, you can call it. So what happens now? All 10 ID, if you had to merge with the different brands, then it will be difficult for them to see, right? Because it will be big problem for them to understand which is what. So this is why, instead of defining all 10 commit ID, we can combine as one commit ID, so that it will be easy for you to understand it, right? That means specifically if you're working with some issue, because lot many time you will do commit and you will test everything, it will fail everything, right? So instead of having, once you fix everything, then instead of this one, you can use a rebase, so that it only have one unique commit ID instead of 10. Okay, this,
Sorry to interrupt here. So
yeah,
if we have one commit ID, so if suppose we are just doing one more commit and we need to use that commit ID, or it is directly
no,
take that commit ID, how it is?
yeah, well, good question. In that case, you don't have to worry about a commit ID. Automatically Git will take care. Your work is to understand basically what happens in the background. Okay, everything will take care, but you don't have to assign or get the commit ID, nothing to do that. All you need is run the command. Let's say git rebase. Rebase, if I use the git rebase, automatically, if let's say in particular feature branch, you have done 10 times you did committed, and then now you feel that I'm good with this one, then I want to rebase, means it will rebase with the new commit ID. New commit ID, it will be rebased. Okay, so
That
all 10 history will be gone. Is it clear, or still not
Yeah.
coming down?
So It is helpful when we have like all the result in place and we will change it to one commit ID. Then that will.
Yes, yes. Specifically, as I told you, whenever you have an issue, right, you keep fixing the issue, again it will fail, or you will add some other feature, then it will fail. Again, you will commit it, you will test it. This whole situation, you will have a lot of commit ID, right? Then it will be difficult for other to understand, right? Then this is why only if you're working individually before merging with the different brands, you can use a Git Rebase commands. So it will be easy for people to understand. Say for example, you're working with some issue. Okay, in the same issue related, you will create a branch and you will do changes and you will commit and it will test everything. Then let's say you do multiple modifications. Then the more you do, it will be having a commit ID. Then it will be difficult if you use the same commit ID for while merging, right? Because there will be so many, it will be messy also. And second thing also, it also consumes the data, meaning in the Git, as you commit, there is a commit history, it is going to be increased, obviously, right? Then your Git size basically will be increased. So that can also avoid with the help of rebase. Clear?
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. Yeah. Second is your Mars. Mars, when we can use Mars, basically it is the same opposite to what we discussed just now. Here, let's say you have a branch called features. You have done 10 times committed. You have committed 10 times, but 10 times you committed. That means 10 times the history will be stored in your Git, right? As a commit ID, it will be stored 10 times. Now, if you merge with the main branch, that means all 10 times commit, whatever you have done in your feature branch will be merged with your main branch. That means whatever changes you're doing, every single track or changes, it will be merged with your main branch. That means you will not have one unique commit ID. Here you will have only one unique. Instead of 10, you'll have one. But here you'll have it all 10 if you have a 10 time committed based on your feature branch. But here means whatever commit ID you did, let's say 10 times 10 mean 20 mean 20 times, it is going to be same thing replicated in your Mars branch. History means whatever changes you're doing, 10 times you did changes, right? All the history will be stored, right? Let me show you what it means. You might have already seen, but I want to show you. If you see here history, right? If you click here, right now I have one history. If you have like this multiple times, if you commit, every single history will be created for you, right? Like that, if you, let's say now only one I have, if you have a 10 times, 10 history will be created here. So if I use the, let's say if we use the this one first one, that is a Mars one, then all the 10 history will be it will be merged with your main branch. So question is, when can I use this merge commands then, right? Here means when to use a rebase means if you work individually, right? Individually. If you work individually for a specific branch or issue, for example, you understood, because you are individually working and you know what is going on. Once it is fixed, then you can use this one. So you know what is there, right? Instead of having the 10 commits. Then what about here? As I told you, here mean 10 commit mean it will be messed. When to use this merge commands? Merge command normally we can use, let's say, when you are working with different different teams, different okay, different teams like dev dev team, development, then we have a security and DevOps, etc. Just for the use case. Question is, why am I still using it? Because every single team will have a different understandings. Every single team will have a different skill set. Now, say for example, if I use only one single commit, what happens now? only one single commitment, they will not be able to understand what you have done, right? So that if you have a 10 different commits means, then for them, or maybe within the same team itself, then it will be easy for them to understand what each commit does, right? This is when we can use it. Is it clear? I hope this is clear. Anyway, let me know in case if you feel still not clear, let me know, don't be shy. Okay. Next, very interesting. This is cherry-pick. Cherry-pick is nothing but it is just a, let's say you have a main branch. Again, a similar way, I will give an example. Then you have a feature branch. Okay. Then you have a this feature branch. When I can use cherry-pick is nothing but, let's say, as I mentioned, every single commit there is a commit ID. Right now, in my which branch, main branch, do one thing. What I'll do, let me check which branch I am so that I can show you. Git status, Git branch. So let me check. I'm in the main branch. Okay. Now let me go back to my feature branch. Git checkout feature. Okay, let's say I am right now in the feature branch. If I type also, I can check it. Okay, now I'm in the feature branch now. Let's say in the feature branch, I have done so many changes. Right now, let me, maybe this particular branch is still not available in my remote branch. Maybe, yeah, it is not there. Anyway, I will also teach you how to push the branch also now. Okay, this feature branch is created newly that I don't have right now located store in my GitHub, but anyway, I will show this also. Okay, first, let me basically what I'll do, push these changes. I will create same branch. I will create under same this thing, another this thing. This is another changes from so I'm setting in my feature branch. Again, I'm doing some changes here. Feature branch. Okay, I have done the changes now. Now, okay, I have done the changes now. Now, these changes, if I type here Git status, I will only see these changes that I make, that is a feature branch. I have made these changes, of course. This is why I'm showing here. Now, let me commit this also. Git commit -am message name updated feature branch, something like that. Anything you can give, it depends on your case. In my case, I'll give it as simple. I will commit it. Git push, right? Let's see. Can somebody tell me it will pass or not? Now the commit ID is created in this particular. This is a commit ID because it is committed this particular branch. So I could see. Can you tell me it will fail or not? Yes, it will fail. It will fail in the sense it will not allow me to post it, because why it is reason is, if I check the which branch I'm setting, as I told you, I'm working in my feature branch, which is not available remotely. If you see here, only available staging, dev, and a main branch. So this particular branch is not located or stored in your remote. So in order to make that available, or maybe seeing that one, I have to use a I have to push that one using Git. As I told you yesterday, using Git push U, right? U is nothing but it is upstream. Upstream is nothing but in its simplest case, you can say that it is basically your linking between local and remote. Linking means you are linking your local branch to your remote branch so that they can sync together and work. In the future, let's say if I had to use the same branch, that is a feature branch, you don't have to give a complete branch name. So you can, suppose I want to pull, right? I can simply use a git pull sitting in the same feature branch. But if I do not mention the dash u or upstream, you have to always mention the branch name. This is the reason you have to link the branch first. So this is why I'm going to do now. So then origin, because I want to send this one to my origin remote, right? Origin, then in my case it is a feature. Okay, good. Right now, as I told you, we have done 2 times committed. So 2 times I have done changes. I will be able to see to side. Now, if I go to my, let me go, code, changes. Now you can see the features. Now, if you go to the features, now you can see the right whatever changes that we made it. Now, if I see the main everything, now I can check. Okay, so now every single, if you go to the feature branch, let's say I'm going inside. Okay, I don't have to go here. What I'll do is I will show it from here only. Now, if you see here, right now it has been basically pushed it. Okay, so now if you notice here, as I told you, every single commit, there will be commit ID, right? So now if I click here, I can simply change the branch name. In my case, this is particular is stored in my main branch. Now, if I go similarly way for my other branch, that is a feature branch, I can simply select. Okay, simply simple. Now there is a commit ID. If you click here, now you see this many. There will be different commit ID. Is old and new. This is an old one, and against the new one. As I told you today, we have done 2 commit, right? Like 28 hours, 28 minutes ago, and just now. So that is a thing. So right now we have 2 commits. Let's say I will do one more commit also, just to make you clear. So let me do one more commit here also, or I will create one more folder in different this thing. Randomly I'll create it. Maybe same I can create under here. I can create a folder this time. Cherry pick. Okay, I'll not use cherry pick. Just I use normal folder name. This folder 100,000 like that. Okay. Under here, I will create a file. File 2. This is third commit, right? This third commit. Now, same way, nothing I'm just same thing. I'm just going to add this also, because let me check the status first. Always try to use this one. You will get to know what changes you are doing. Then you get to know this. This is a folder I created. So good. I'm good now. I can use the same upper button if you want. Otherwise, if you know, you can run using it. This thing. It is right now. It will be moved to staging area. Yeah. Now I'm going to commit this one. I'm going to commit that time. If you remember, I'm setting the same branch. I was using the using the dash u, right? This time, and then I was using dash u, then origin, then the branch name. In my case, now I don't have to do that. So let me commit first. Git commit. Then I mention third commit. Simple like that. Now, as I mentioned, again, this also move here. Create another commit ID. This is the commit ID. Last number is 3F. Okay, third commit name. Now I will push this one. Now this time I don't have to use the w dash u, then origin, then feature. This one I don't have to do that. But before it was failing. Now I will remove this one. It will still be able to push without any issue. Yes, this is what I was saying it. You must link your local branch to your remote, so that in order to that you have to sync that branch first of all. Then only in the future, if you want to pull the changes or you want to push the changes, that you can do it without using the long comments, git comments. Okay, So I hope this is clear. Right now, what I'm going to do, let us see in my commit ID. I mean, here, same branch. As I told you, I could see here third commit, right? This is the one I done. Now, that means, let's see if I have a thousands of commit means 1,000 times it will be created here. 3 times I created, committed, 3 times is happening here, commit ID. If you see here, every single commit, there will be a unique commit ID, right? It will not be the same. It will be every single commit, there will be commit ID. This is what I was showing. If you're using a 10 times you commit this thing, like if you're using 10 times and 10 commit ID will be different. So for example, now, what was the last commit? Last commit is this one, third commit. Now let's say for any reason, okay, let's say this code I'm not happy. That means this is the latest code, right? That means in this particular feature branch, this is only stored in feature branch. In particular feature branch, let's say this is my last commit using third commit, and let's say I'm not happy with the last commit, but somewhere I'm happy with this commit, second commit, or maybe third commit. Let's say second commit I'm happy. That means instead of copying your entire changes, only the changes I want for specific commit, I want that to be reflected in my another branch. That time we can use the cherry pick. That means instead of using, suppose if I use this one means this is the latest, right? This is the latest last commit. That means whatever changes is happened till now in particular feature branch, everything will be stored in your particular commit. That is your third commit, because this is the last commit. Obviously this is the latest one, but I don't want to commit use the latest one, because latest one there was some issue. What I want is I want to use the previous commit. That is, let's say this particular commit, that is updated future branch commit. I simply want to make changes only till here. Whatever I have done changes, I'm happy with this one, not the latest one. That is the case, I can use the cherry-pick. That means now this one, if you want to do this only, then we can use a cherry-pick. Now, as I told you, we are in this branch, Git BR branch. I'm in the feature branch. Let me go to the main branch now. Git checkout. Sorry. Checkout. Then Git checkout. I have to go. Let me check. I have to go to main branch first. Yeah. I'm in the main branch now, right? Now in the main branch, as we all know, we don't have anything filed what we did. So that's the thing. Now if you see, this is also gone. Now what I want, basically I want to make the changes till my second commit from the feature branch. That means I don't want everything changes. I only want these changes to be reflected, or maybe copy or merge with my another branch, that is main branch. Let me copy this copied ID. This is a hash ID. I can copy. Git cherry-pick I can use because I'm in the main branch now. Git cherry-pick. Then I can mention the commit ID. Now what do you see now? As soon as I type, I only type half number, but this is the full number actually. I copy this one. As soon as I type Git cherry-pick, basically in my main branch, because main branch only changes I want to bring is, that is second till second changes from the feature branch. That means with the help of cherry-pick, I can only bring changes that I want for specific commit, not the entire branch, right? Not the entire branch. But if you talk about the first two cases, that is your merge and the rebase, it will bring the changes, everything that is available, right? If you see these two, it will bring the changes, everything that is available. But the third one I was using cherry-pick is that I want to bring the changes only to specific commit. That means specific changes, right? This is why I have to use a commit ID. So this is why, as I told you, I want to use changes only till the second commit. This is why I use this commit ID, and I went switch to the my branch, whichever branch I want to bring to. I want to bring to main branch, right? So I switch to the main branch using the Git checkout. I went here and then I use a Git Cherry-Pick, and from the commit ID, I got it from the future branch, because as I told you, I want to bring the changes from the future branch. That is the second one. So this is what happened now. See, I have brought now. Now if I type Git this thing also status, now issuing one commit. Obviously it will one commit because we have brought the changes from my future branch. Now what we have to do, I want to bring the changes, yes, then you have to use a git push. Now if I use a git push, what happened now? As I told you, now if I go to my main branch, let me change the branch because I have pushed the changes to my main branch. Now you see here, can you see the, I only copied this particular commit ID in the main branch. I merged with the main branch, right? You can see here updated future branch. This is coming from where? This same commit ID is coming, commit message is coming from the future branch. If you want, I can show you once again so that it will be easy for you. If you go future branch, this is the second one, right? Updated feature branch commit ID, this one. This is why if you come to main branch, because I have cherry picked it, I want to bring only specific changes, then I can do this one. Okay, then let us understand then when can I use these commands, right? I think we have understood when to use cherry pick. Basically, maybe I will write here cherry pick, why we use cherry pick basically to specific, or you can just mention to bring as changes specific commit or changes into another branch. Hope this is clear. This means I want to bring the only specific changes or commit, then I can use a cherry pick instead of defining the entire, because here these two, it will bring entire changes whatever you have. Here means only with the commit ID I can specify whichever like changes I want. I can bring only the changes, not everything. Now see, it is push also, and you can also check. I mean, you have already seen this one. This is the main branch. This is the thing. This is the beauty of basically here. Now if you go inside, you can check, right? This is from another changes from the feature branch, right? This is the thing. So this is how we need to understand, guys. And I think I need to cover one more thing, is that till there, guys, any doubts you have? Anyway, I'm going to cover one more thing also very important. Please raise your questions if you have till now. Maybe I will go with the documents also, so that will be easy for you also to follow. Maybe if I'm yeah, I will go with this one now. Stash. I will give you notes for that as well. I mean, I will update some more also. I'll give it to you. Okay, I think this is already there, but you understood how it works basically, right? This one, cherry pick also, as I told you, you are clear now. If I see your git cherry pick and commit ID, it basically apply a specific commit to another branch, as I told you. So you are applying the changes only to specific commit to the another branch. Now, let us understand stash, git stash. Why even we use that? Is it really useful? The answer is yes, it is. Now, let us understand why it is useful and how we can use that in real time. Git stash, right? Okay, first I will go with the document so that you can also refer. Okay, if I see the stash, if I talk about the git stash, it says save changes temporarily. Okay, that means, say for example, you are working basically anything that you want to do a temporarily, you want to do a changes, then you can use a cherry pick. Sorry, stashing using git stash. Let me give an example. Git Stash example. You have, say for example, okay. You have a team now. You are working now. You are working on feature branch. Okay. Currently, you're working in this particular branch. Okay. And your work is not completed. Now, another person, let's say your manager, this another person, let's say your manager. What happened? He comes and says that, hey, maybe instead of working this particular branch, can you do this quickly? This is urgent. That is, let's say, work need to prioritize another task for in another for another issue. Let's say another for another branch or for another issue. So obviously for another issue mean what you have to do, you have to create a new branch, right? New features branch. It could be any branch, like say let's say bug fix, right? Say for example, now you're working already here. Your work is not completed. First of all, you're working in the feature branch. Your work is not completed. And somebody told, let's say your manager told you, you need to prioritize. There is another task that need to be completed before completing this itself. So that means you keep on hold. You have to keep on hold. Please, first you have to start working on this issue. Then what do you do in this case? Then whatever changes you are doing, let's say you have done half of the work now. Let's say 50% of your work is done. But manager told you, no, you can leave this one. You have to start working on this particular issue, new issue. Then what you do? You cannot change you cannot work directly jam. You cannot jam and work directly like that, right? You cannot do that. So this is where we can use. In real case, what we do is that, let me show you. Say for example, I'm working in, let me check which branch I'm now. And also stop me if I'm going a little fast. I'm in the main branch. First, let me choose my feature branch. Git checkout. And I will mention the feature branch because as I told you, I'm working currently feature branch. Okay. In the feature branch, let's say I'm doing something. Let's say I will add one more here, one more file. This is a file file, let's say 10. Under file 10, I want to create another basically full file. Sorry, here. Okay, let's say, okay, anyway, I can give any name, maybe file 20. Here, if I type something, let's say, this is from say for example, like this, let's say I'm basically currently working on this particular feature branch because I have switched it. I'm working here. Let's say like this, I have done, let's say this is the small I'm showing you. You might be doing a lot of changes in your code, but it is not completed. Let's say my work is not completed, but some point I have done till here. Like let's say 30% or 40% of your work you have completed till now, but you have still a lot of things to do it within your feature branch, right? But somebody told you or your manager told you now, hey boss, you have to first leave this one, your existing work, you have to leave this feature branch or this particular issue. You have to prioritize another issue, right? You have to prioritize another issue. So please, you have to fix that as soon as possible. So what do? Now, then what I'll do, I will try to create the Git checkout. I will, let's say basically I want to work with the main branch. Let's say, let me check how many branches we have. Okay, I now basically the changes I want to do in the main branch, right? Now, with this particular, let me see where I'm sitting right now. I will say using the Git status. It will help me to understand what changes I have made till now. That means till now I have two changes. This is all stored in my local working directory, right? So this means this is not been committed. Now, because how can I commit that one? Because as I told you, every single commit there is a commit ID. I don't want to commit because I have so many changes to be done in my future branch. So what I will do is that, but now requirement is I want to work with different issue. So if I try to switch, because I cannot live like this, but I will save, let me, I have saved here. Locally I have saved, no issue. Okay. But again, if I had to work now while working this in this thing, if I had to work with different brands, let me go now, Git checkout main, because I want to work with the main brand, there is some issue that is to be prioritized. Let me check. Now it's coming, because now if you see here, your branch is up to date. But if you just notice here, this particular branch, basically, sometime in the main branch will come. Let's say you have, let me create new branch. Basically, I will create another branch. What can I give name? I can give as Git checkout. Mm, let's be, sorry, I can give bug, bug folks. This is a branch name. I created new basically, and I switched to the main branch. From the main branch, I created a new what I call new branch called bug fix. Now, if I check Git branch, I'm in the bug fix. Now, as I told you, I'm in the bug fix. Now, I had to go back. This is a basically I need to work in this issue. Okay, bug fix issue. But if I go to my Git checkout, Git checkout dash sorry, Git checkout features. Okay, I'm in the feature branch now. So now these two I have done, right? Let me do some other changes also. Now, okay. Now, if I see here, now I can just type again Git status. As I told you, there will be a one or two changes. It will be two changes here. Now, if I try to go back to my another Git checkout, then what is the new branch I created? Bug fix, because this to be prioritized. Bug fix. Okay, sometime is coming, but there is some issue with Git sometime. Normally, if you're basically working in this branch without saving your working directory in this particular branch, basically meaning if you're working with a feature branch, you have to save your existing code first. But sometimes Git, I don't know why it is, many times Git will block, not allow you to basically switch the directory or maybe branch basically without saving your existing working directory. So that is the thing. But sometimes Git also allow, depends on the case to case. Let's say in my case it is allowing. If allow also, the problem is normally what normally we have to do is before getting checkout here, what you do, let's say, let me go back again. Let me go here. Okay, let's say you're working here. Let's say you're working so many changes you do. What do you do? Normally, what do you have to do? In order to disturb basically to save your working directory, let's say I'm in the feature branch, right? What I'll do is I will use the Git Stash. Git Stash, why I will use is because, as I told you, Git Stash is nothing but it is going to be save your changes temporarily. That means whatever changes you are doing, it will be stored temporarily, it will be safe. Now, if I use a Git Stash, what happens? I'll show you. Now, Git Stash, oh, I didn't do changes. The reason why it is not showing changes because I have switched multiple times. That is the reason. Okay. Anyway, I'll say new changes. New changes. Now I can use. I'm setting the same branch. Okay. Maybe let me check which setting I'm in. Okay. The reason why it is not coming because I'll tell you. Reason why it's not coming because we are actually within our this thing only. What I said, no, it is not local. Basically, we have cloned it from our repository, right? It is still cloned from there. This is why it is showing like that. So if you want to stash this locally, so what we can do is we can create one new one so that I can show you. I will create new repo because this is available already remotely. I'll create new repo. It will be easy for you to maybe let me create new repository. I mentioned as something like a Git Stash repo. Git Stash. Okay. I don't want anything for now. I'll just keep it as normal. Okay. Let me clone this thing. I will create another repository using Stash. First, I will save this one anyway. I will select the same folder, Stash. Okay, I will ignore. For now, I don't want to save it. Don't save it. Okay, this is, let's say we are working the new this thing. This is in working directory. I mean your local system now. I'll use this thing. Now git clone. Okay, now let me do some changes here. Before that, let me create a let me select the branch. Git br. Okay, the reason why it is not coming because I need to switch to the branch. It is just a git right. Let me go inside. Now I can try git branch. I can see the only main branch I have. Okay, let me create two branches. I can create together also two branches. Let me see how to git branch or br. I can give a branch name. Let's say, sorry, I'll just give small letter feature. Then I give it a staging. That means I'm going to create two branches together. I can create it. Okay, git branch, then feature, then staging. I can create together also. Okay, 1 minute. I think maybe I don't allow. Stage maybe not allowing. Okay, maybe let me create one then, otherwise it should be allowing sometime. Anyway, so if I check here, I have one feature, this thing. Now let me, okay, I think 2 is okay. Let me create one more to call as staging. Okay, now I can see I have 3 branches total, but I'm sitting in the, now let's say I'm working in the feature branch. As I told you, I will do a git checkout, then feature. Oh, spelling by met. My bad spelling, you can ignore the, it is anyway, you can ignore the name. Okay, I'm in the feature branch now. Let's say I can still check if you want to see. Okay, let's say I'm working in this particular branch now. I'm doing some changes now in my locally. Okay, let's say I'm going to create a file folder, I mean folder 1, folder 10 name I'll give. Under here I'm going to create another file called as a file 1. This is stash. So basically what it'll do now, if I save this one now, okay, as I told you, I have 3 branches, right? One is a staging and one is a feature and the main. So but let's say I'm working here now. If I type the git status, I can see the changes. Now let me try to switch the branch now. Git checkout. What is the branch name? In my case, it is a staging, because I am doing changes in my feature branch right now, but there is a requirement that I need to work on different branch, that is a staging branch, before saving it. Because if you see here right now, it is not committed. It is not committed. So let me use the staging. It is switch. Okay, it is switched now. Normally, some cases I don't know why is the, I think there is some lag, or I don't know. Sometimes it's not be allowing you to switch the branch unless you save your changes, but in some situation it also allows it. So that is also you need to understand. But usually, technically, what I have to do, if you're working with a feature branch, let me go back one second, feature branch. Okay, if you're working here, as I told you, I'm doing some changes here. Okay, let me save this thing. Okay, now if I had to tag Git checkout, I mean Git status. Now you can see the changes. Now what I'll do, first thing I will do a Git stash. Okay, Git stash not coming. Maybe this I got this changes is because I don't have this. I need to first send these changes. What I'll do, I git commit. Sorry, git add, git commit. Does I can give anything like say git stash. Okay, so I will first test. This is basically push. I can git commit. Okay, I will basically push 2 branches because I have these 2 branch name. Git push origin dash u origin. I can use what is the branch name? FATUR. First, let it be available locally. I mean remote, similar to a. Okay, now this is stored in remote, as I told you. This particular feature branch is right now available. Okay, now next what I'll do is that I will again try to do some changes. Okay, before that, locally I need to maybe I'll use a git init. I will initialize first locally. 1 second. Okay, 1 second. I initialize locally so that it'll reinitialize everything from the listing. Okay, now if I had to do the same way, maybe something, anything you can give. Now if I use now git status, I can git stash. Now if you see here, we need to initialize, actually we need to initialize locally also. That is why it's not saying that time. It is not saying maybe we did not use the git initialize. It was using the existing old one. Maybe because of that only it was not showing. Okay, anyway, we can use the existing core also, not an issue. But that's not a case. It's okay. What we need to understand is that as you type git stash, basically, right, you have to notice here As I told you, I was working in this particular branch, that is a future branch. And as soon as I type after committing, that is, I was not saved this basically, right? I did not commit that basically. I could see when I type git stash, what I see is that save working directory and index state WIP on future. This particular commit ID to git stash. What basically it means that it basically whenever I use a git stash, it is going to basically save your changes locally. Okay, that means whatever changes you are doing locally, it is going to be saved locally as it basically saved temporarily, and it is going to clean your same local local branch. Meaning, let me show you. Say for example, you have a branch right now. We are working in the future branch, right? We are working in the future branch. Now, after using modification, as I told you, I need to work with different branch, right? Then before that, whenever I use a git stash, after using the git stash, what happens? Whatever, because this particular changes, it is there remotely as well as locally. But locally also we have done some changes, but we did not save the changes. If you do not commit, then we cannot save, right? We have to commit first. Without committing, we cannot save it. Save in the sense it has to be committed. In your, you can save in your locally, you can save like that, but that is not how it will work. You have to commit the changes if you want to save in your working directory. That is what it is. So it means now, if you want to save these changes, let's say these three, right? These 3 or 4, whatever changes, if you want to save this one temporarily, and you want to work with another branch, let's say different branch, then what happens whenever I use a git stash, it is going to be basically save your changes locally as a temporarily. Okay, and it is going to clear your existing like what do you call, till the existing code changes. That means till now locally after modifications, after you commit, after your last commit, I mean after your last commit, whatever changes you have done, this all will be saved as temporary. Meaning, if you notice here, there is a one ID. Okay, what is the ID number? 224. Let me show you. 224. What is a feature? It is a feature branch, or what is the branch name? If you notice here, 224. This is the last commit ID, right? That means if you, yeah, it's going like that. Yeah, Git stash. If you remember, this was the last commit I did it 5 minutes ago. 2248. If you use 2248, right? Sorry, 224, last number, right? I hope you can see my screen. Yeah, 224. That means till the last commit, whatever changes you have done locally, everything will be saved as temporarily. That means nothing is going to be, then it is going to be, okay, it is going to save as temporarily, like after last modification, whatever you're doing changes, and then those all will be saved as temporarily, and it is going to restore till your last commit. Till your last commit means this is the last commit, right? This is why it is showing this here, this ID. Maybe if not clear, I will give it a simple. This is the last commit. Last commit, whatever changes we have done, it was already available also in the remote, right? Like in your, what is your repository, that is a GitHub. But after this, you did a changes again here. Now, whatever changes you have done, apart from the last commit, whatever changes you have done till now, which was not committed, those all will be stored as a temporarily. It will be saved as a temporarily, and it is going to be clear everything till your last commit. That means it is going to be restored till your last commit. Restored means there's nothing. As simple. Okay. Now I can switch to the branch now. Git checkout. okay, I didn't explain this one. When I say save working directory, that means whatever changes you're doing, it is going to save and also index state WIP. WIP is nothing but it is a work in progress. Okay, that means WIP means work in progress. That means work in progress on features that we are working the till the last commit it is showing. That is why it's showing you. That means till the last commit whatever it got restored, but whatever changes you did till the last commit changes you did, it will be taken as a temporarily it will be stored. I hope this is clear. Now let me go to the staging branch because this is where I want to work. I have checked out. I'm in the staging area now, so I will try to create something. Staging file, something like that. I can do something I want to touch here. This is from staging branch. Okay, this is right now, as I mentioned, this is from feature branch. Right now, I will save this one. Okay. Okay, now I have saved. If I use a Git status, just like a normal how we used to do this. Okay. Now what happened? I did not save what. Git init. Okay, maybe this is a new branch. This is a new branch. That is why it's not showing me. Anyway, this branch also correct. I think I need to push this also. No problem. I will otherwise do one thing. I will work in the main branch because it is already pushed directly. Git checkout because staging is not pushed directly right till now. So let's say instead of the staging area, I have to prioritize my work on my main branch. Now main branch, as I told you, I'm already in the main branch right now. If I see I'm in the main branch, now I can do any changes that I want. Let's say main branch. This is from this is actually I have saved it, but yeah, anyway. So nothing of the commit. Maybe I did not push. What is the branch name? Main only. Git Stash repo. Anyway, so whatever changes I'm doing here, I can basically work your things. Let's say I'm doing some changes here again. Maybe I under Stash, I will create a file. Yeah. Yes. Okay. There is a while saving, maybe there is some issue. I don't know. It's taking time, or I don't know. It should not be the case. Anyway, so right now I'm working the main branch. As you can see, I'm in the main branch. So I'm going to save this one. I'm in commit this one using git add dash u. Okay, I basically using I move to the staging area. Now I'm going to commit this one using git commit dash am, then commit message name from main branch, something like that. Now it has been, now I can push it. Whatever changes you did, it is going to push now. That means now whatever you have to do, you prioritize, you have done these changes, let's say. Now, but you still need to do work. If you see here, this is the thing you need to understand. This ID. This ID is coming from where? Let us see. This ID, if you see main do this thing, right? If you go your main feature, this is your last commit. Last commit means obviously the first commit that we did it, 07, this one, and then second thing is the what is it? This one, second commit. that is your, what is your 13EC, 13EC. Okay, last commit and the first commit, basically two commits ID, last and first. Basically you will be getting it like that. So that means now you can say that you, whatever you have requirement, you have done that one, you fix the issue, everything. Now I can go back to my branch, that is my future branch, so that I can start working on the existing code. Git checkout. What is your branch name? It is future, right? Okay, now if I say here git status, I will not have anything, because as I told you, it is going to clear, it is going to restore your existing branch till your last commit, right? Till your last commit means in your, I have switched to the future branch, but till the last commit means this is the last commit, git stash. What is the commit ID? 224. This is the last commit. So till the last commit, whatever I have done remote, I mean I have committed till the last commit, it is restored, it is saved in your locally, temporarily it is saved, but it is going to clear, it is going to clear everything from your branch locally. That is why now if I type git status also, after coming to a particular feature branch, I do not see anything changes. Now let us see how can we see the changes then that Merge, because as I told you, I have done 50% of the work. I need to start working with other issue. I mean, I need to start working with other things, right? So how can I be do that? So this is why we can use a git stash. Coming, you have to come to the same branch which you are working before. That means we are working in the future branch. So I will come back here. If I type here, I can type list. List is nothing but I want to see how many stashes I have done it till now, or maybe list of the stash. Now, if I remember, sir, if you remember, I told you till the last commit, right? This is basically stash. Stash nothing but, as I told, commit itself. It helps you to basically save your changes locally as a temporary and clear everything from your local branch till your last commit. This is why working in progress on this particular branch, that is a feature branch, commit ID means, as I told you, 224 is something, as I always told you, this is the last commit till here. That means now whatever changes that you have done till the last commit, it is going to be clear, and it is going to be basically stored in your here. This is basically commit ID. Stash will be there. The stash, key stash number, basically this is a number or ID, you can call it. Every time you commit stash, let's say you time multiple times you stash, every single stash there will be a unique ID generated, and that ID starts with 0. If you notice right now, as I told you, this is the first one is where we can see the 0. Okay, now if I had to do a stash, now I will go to the document so that it will be easy, much easier for you to understand. As I showed you, git stash is something, it will save changes temporarily. That means, as I told you, it's the whatever changes we did locally, it is saved temporarily, and also it is clear, it is restore everything as it is as your last commit, which I have shown already. Okay, then second command I run is the git stash list. Basically it does, what it does is it views stash changes, like whatever, if you have so many stashes, every stash ID will be generated. Okay, now this one we have understood. Now if I had to do one more stash, you can do one more, then one more 0 will come. For example, I will do one more, I will not change now, but I'm just showing you second stash. I'm just showing you second stash so that you can see the stash ID. Just for your understanding, I can show you, this will be your stash ID. Okay, now I think I have saved it. Let me check. Before that, let me check the status. Okay, now I will do a git stash, because as I told you, this is my second time I'm doing a stash. Okay, guys, I don't know, it's taking time or maybe. Anyway, it's not coming sometime. There is issue something. I don't know why. I have saved it but not coming. Okay, let me create new one. Maybe. Okay, no, not this one. I have to come under Git Stash. I need to create here. Okay, I will expand this one. I'll create under here. Second stash. Second. Just mention second. Here, second stash. Maybe I was typing outside of this thing. That's why. Okay. Anyway, I have saved this one. This is my second stash with the same branch basically. Now, if I had to do this also using the git commit, I have two changes now. Then I can use the git stash again, as I told you why I have to show. I mean, I will be showing you so that I can why showing like this. Anyway, I think because we have existing one, we have to commit first this one. Anyway, so basically we have understood the stash list. Okay, this is the last commit we have it. Okay, let me complete one by one this with otherwise. Because we do not complete one, maybe because of 2 times it will not be along at the same stash commit ID. That is the thing. Anyway, so if you see this is the ID as I told you. Now I want to start working on this one. Okay, the reason why it's not coming, but to start working on this one. Now if you see here, there are two things we have to do. One is git stash pop. It does is apply and remove the latest. That means whatever last stash you did, no, like this one, it will apply. Apply mean again you can start working on your code. Okay, first let me do this one. I will do that one because what that only maybe it is not allowing me. First I have to apply it. But if you want to, because 2 times I did, but I did not start working on that. That is why it's not coming maybe. So let me apply. But before apply, you need to understand, as I told you, one is a pop. Pop means apply and remove the letters. Apply means, sorry, pop means it is not going to, basically it is going to remove. Whatever you have a stash, this number, right? This everything will be removed. But if you don't want to remove, let's say in the future also you want to work with from here again, you can do so. But in my case, I want to keep this also, but I want to start working. Then I can use a second commands. That is using the apply. Apply, it will help you to basically you can start working on your changes before removing your existing stash. So let us do that. Okay. Now, okay. Now stash. Now if I tag and get stash now, because I have applied now, I can start working now, no issue. Now as I told you, I have one. Now let me do one more stash changes. I will simply do third times, I mean second times. So I have applied my stash. Maybe now it should be fine. Now before that git status I'll try. Yeah, it should come now. If I use a git status, sorry, stash, because this is my second time. Not sure why it's coming. Maybe anyway, anyway I'll complete this one. I'll finish this one. Okay, fine. Anyway, we are completing this one first. So if you see here, as I told you, we can start working now. Now whatever changes I want to do, basically, you can start working on this. Let's say I want to add additional. Let me save. Basically, after stash apply, I can start working, and then I have to complete in order to work with different stash. Because maybe because we are using same this ID, right? Where is that commit ID? Last commit ID basically. So anyway, I will save this one. I can run the git status now. Now I can commit. Sorry, git add, because I want to commit add also. Then I want to git commit. Okay, now I can use a git commit, and then next is what is a commit ID? They can simply I can mention stash from what is the branch name? Branch. You can ignore the spelling anyway. That's okay. Okay. So changes whatever I had done. If you remember the last time changes and before stash, like we were doing some changes, right? Everything which is going to be this thing. Now I can post it. This thing. So if you post it now, again, as I told you, this is basically post. This ID is from your existing, which was available in your this one 20224. And if you see the new one more new number, that is a C. If you just refresh the page, that you can see the number. This is the stash from feature branch. That means this is the new branch. I mean new commit ID. So that is why we have to understand. This means this is a old. I have to compare it. That means last commit to the new commit. Whatever changes be made using the stash, everything is being updated in this particular branch. Okay, that is a using with the help. I mean that is a benefit of using the stash. So in simple term, stash why we use. Let's say you are working with the two different branches, and one of the branches you need to prioritize or work you need to prioritize. That time, let's say you're working 50% of your work you have done. Later you feel that no, I have to prioritize another task. In this case, instead of basically committing, you can save your basically work as a temporarily in your local system, and then you can switch to your the task that you want to work with. Once that is completed, then you can come back to the feature branch, and again using the git apply, I mean git stash apply, you can start working using this one. Or maybe if you don't want this also, I mean if you want to remove the stash, you can use this command pop. Pop basically it means now also if I check here in the same branch git stash list, now you can see right same idea is there. So anytime you can use it if you want to. So but if you don't want to do that, you want to remove mean, you can simply use a pop. That means pop mean it will apply and it is going to delete this particular whatever ID you have it. No, now if you see here, so second time I did no, maybe that time I did it. That is why, as I told you, the stash ID starts with 0 and then 1 and 2 and so on. Okay, every single stash ID would be different. It will be something like that. Because both are in the same last commit. This is why these two are same, but the stash ID, this stash ID is different. Now if I use a pop, now you see gone, 0 is gone. If you want to select particular, you can simply use a git pop and you can select whichever you want to this thing. 0 is gone. Now if you see the 1, I can just copy paste this stash ID, whatever ID I have. No, I can just copy ID this one. I can pop everything. If you do second time also, it will be gone. Now if you use a stash again, now it is gone. So we don't have any more stash. Okay, so that is the beauty of using a stash. Okay, so Tim, any doubt till here? Able to understand or okay? How?
Yeah, it's able to understand. But could you please go back to the experience? If
Okay,
possible?
okay. Yeah, please.
Yeah, could you please scroll up like after you did a git stash?
Okay.
So what is the command you have applied? Because the initial comment was done. After
Mm-hmm.
that, you were picking up git stash,
Okay.
uh, and you were again finally committing up. So
Okay.
what was the after the git stash list?
Okay.
What was the command which you are taking up? Because
Okay.
the last
Got it.
comment and the first comment. Okay.
Okay. I get it. I get it. Just one moment. Let me put for charging. One minute. Okay. All right. So I think I'm audible, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So good questions. So whenever I use a git stash, let me give you what basic, how we basically do. First thing, let's say I will give you the complete this thing. Let's say you are working in your this branch, feature branch. Okay, you can ignore the spelling, but this is a feature branch. Let's say right now I'm working here. Now I want to work with different brands, which to be prioritized, right? But let's say, as I mentioned, I'll be working. This is my the branch which I'll be working for now. But later I need to switch to the different branch. Then let's say what I'll do first. I will use the Git Stash. Git Stash will be I'll be using it. Git Stash, what it does, it is going to be store your changes that you make in your same feature branch. It will be saved as temporarily, and it is going to be restored to your last commit ID. Last commit ID mean this one. This is the, but as of now, if I do now, definitely it will be till here because it was committed now. That time when we talk about that time, it was taken this ID because this was the last commit we made before this one, right? So now this is why we used now after what we, if we try with the git list, where is that? Here, first we get this one with this ID, right? That means every single stash when you do, automatically Git will generate one stash ID that is start with 0. So this is why you see 0. Second times we did a stash again. That is why it is started with this. I mean after 0, obviously it will be 1 and so on. Okay. Then once you complete this thing, I mean once you do stash, basically you have to switch to the branch that you want to work with. Let's say what I did was I was switching to the main branch most probably, right? So if I go to main branch, after stashing, I'll do git checkout the main branch. That means I'm going to the main branch and I have to work like whatever issues there or anything, like depends on the case to case, situation to situation, right? So this is why I was going to the main branch and I completed my work as normal, like using the git add, git commit, then git push. This is the normal process we are following, right? So as a normal day-to-day task. So this is why in the main branch, nothing I did. Main branch, I completely followed the git process. So in the main branch, let's say I did some changes here. After doing changes in the main branch, if you see main branch, I did after doing changes, I did a git add double like that. Okay, then after this one I did was git commit, then commit message, right?
That's okay.
Yeah.
But what I mean to say is like, what I mean to ask is like, after the process in the main branch, when you
Okay.
return back to the feature branch,
Okay.
and when you want to add a same changes, what
Okay.
you
Got it.
have
Huh. Okay.
definite
Got it.
git stash. So
Okay. Okay. Once you complete a main branch task, because that is what you have to prioritize, you finish that one. You want to start with the again your feature branch using, right? So you will switch back first thing, git checkout, and you have to mention the feature branch name. In my case, I have come till now we are good here, right? Because we have completed our main branch and we are coming back to our stash, which we have stash. Now here what I did was git stash list. List why I use is because I want to see how many stash I have done stash, right? If I did this one right now, it is showing 0, of course, because I have removed it. Okay, so the when I use the git stash, I could see like something like I think here on top like this, right? Like this,
yeah, yeah,
something like that. I was saying. Now, what I have to do now, you have to start working with that stash. Means whatever changes you are doing, you've been working before. You want to continue the stash, right? Then you have to. There are two commands I can use. One is using the pop stash pop. Git stash pop. Another is apply. This both can be applied. You can use either one. But thing is that you need to understand. If you see the definition, if you're using a pop, git stash pop, it basically applies and remove the stash, git latest stash. Latest stash in the sense, once you apply this ID, everything is going to be erased, or this will be remove everything. But if I use the second commands, that is your apply, this stash ID remains same in the future also. You can still use it, but you can start working like changes. You can do it. Example, in my case, let's say if I have done some changes now, I can simply use a git stash apply. Apply basically what it'll do, git stash apply. once you do, then you can, now I don't have anything, of course, that is why. Then you can do a changes that you want to work with. Let's say now then once you apply, then whatever changes you are doing before, you were doing before, the same from there you can start working, as simple. Okay, then once you done this only, then you can save it. Once you do that, you save it, then you can use as normal, like git add comments. Before that, you can use a git status to check the changes. You can use a git status. For now, we don't have anything. That is why. Then we can use a git add and so on. Then we can use a git. That is the process. Nothing. You just come and just apply this command. Simple. One of them. Pop, or whether you want that to be keep. You want to keep the existing stash. You can keep it using the apply, or if you want to remove the existing the stash and you just start working, then you can use a pop. It depends on your requirement, how you want. In my case, I use this one because in the future, if there is any issue also, I can still refer using the stash ID. That is why.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. 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 Any other questions, Tim? Okay. Meanwhile, maybe I'll stop the recording. So thank you so much, guys. Once again, thanks for joining the session.